Hello friends, welcome to the Django tutorial. Django is a Python-based framework which is used to create web application. Let us start with the Django. So Django have a very popular code that the framework for perfectionist with deadlines. And why it is called as framework? Because it is a collection of components and packages which will help you to create your web application faster. And why to choose Django? Because it is a faster. As we know that it is a framework, it is a collection of components and packages, so you do not need to create your application from the scratch. It will give you the required components to create your application. Django is a secure because we are creating a web application, so it will dealing with the lots of data and that has to be secure. And most important, Django is a scalable because when you create a web application at certain point of time, you need to increase your users and we need to make your application scalable. So Django will provide you that facility. Now let us try to understand the architecture of Django. So Django is based on MVT architecture. Now let us discuss what is MVT. So MVT is nothing but a model view template. You might be aware of the term called MVC, which is used in any other programming language and a web framework, that is MVC, that is model view controller. But in the Python, similarly, they have just changed the terminologies with some features and they have named it as model view template. Now let us try to understand what is model. So model is a structure of your data. Now let's say we want to create an application for the employee record. So your data should be starting with employee and this employee must have the certain fields. So let us consider we have a field called employee ID, then employee name and employee salary. And based on this you want to create your application. So this employee is nothing but your model, which generally it is called as class, and it has a set of data which is id, name and salary for every user. This entire structure is called as model. Now, based on this model, you need to write the logic for that. You need to store data into this model and you need to send that data to the front end and you have to receive that the same data from the front end to the back end as well. So that will be done through your view. So basically, the view is doing your application of business logic and it will be dealing with your HTML, sorry, HTTP request and response. And the data which you are processing in the views, that is your business logic, that is to be sent to the template, and template is nothing but your user interface where you are storing all your HTML files. So this is how it works. Model is a structure of your data. Basically it is an object, and view is your business logic based on your data which you will be storing in the models or the operations which you will perform on the data, and you want to send that results to the UI, and template is a UI which is containing all your HTML files, and collectively this is called as MVT architecture for the Django. Now let us move forward towards the installation of Django. So Django is a Python based framework, so we need to make sure that we have installed Python first onto your system based on the your operating system. So the very first step is installation of Python. So Python is available on the official website which is on your screen, that is python.org, and the download section you will get the latest version of the Python. So let us try to install the Python. I'll just go to the Google search and I'll search for the website called python.org. Then on that website, go to the download section. Once you come to the download section, it will show you the latest version of the Python. So based on your operating system, you have to download it. Either it is for the Windows, Linux or Mac OS. And when you click on this button, it will give you the setup to install. It is very simple to install. You just need to double click on the setup, next, 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 and by default it will be installed. Now I have already installed the Python. What you need to do, you just need to check whether your system has a Python install or not. So how to check it? So open your terminal or cmd on your Windows machine. So I'll open the terminal on my Mac machine, and here you need to type Python space hyphen hyphen version and hit the enter. You will get the version which is installed onto your system. So on my system the version 3.11 is installed. So Python is ready. Now what is our next step? So next step is to set the virtual environment. So why we need this virtual environment? We need this virtual environment to create the environment for separate application, because once you install the application on Django onto your system, so it might be same for all the application which you are creating, but sometimes we need to create a separate application with a separate feature. So in that case you must have a separate environment for that. So it's better to create a virtual environment separately for all the applications. So how to do that? So we have a command written onto your system so you can check it. So before that, what we need to do, we need to check whether I have installed Django onto our system or not. So let us do that. So let us come to your CMD again, and here you need to check whether you have installed Django or not. So how to do that? So again you need to write Django hyphen admin space hyphen hyphen version and hit the enter. You will find that it is telling us that command not found. It means that Django is not installed. Sorry, I have misspelled it. So you need to correct the spelling and hit the enter. Still it is showing you that Django admin is not the command present in our system. It means that it is not installed. So how to do that? So instead of installing it at the global level, I want to install in a specific directory. So I have already created one directory on my desktop with name Django tutorial, and I have opened that directory in the VS Code. So here you can see Django tutorial directory is open. So it's just a folder which I have created. Now open your terminal here in the VS Code itself, and inside the terminal you will find that we are default present in the directory called Django tutorial. Now here also I want to check whether I'm able to access the Python or not. So what you need to do, you have to type Python space hyphen hyphen version and hit the enter. Okay, again I misspelled it, so I'll correct it, that Python space hyphen hyphen version, and you will find I'm able to access the Python. Now create the virtual environment. So you can see that in our directory called Python tutorial there is no file present, but we need to create a virtual environment. So to create the virtual environment, we have mentioned that we have to write the command Python hyphen m virtual environment and the name of your environment. So we'll do that. So here you need to type Python space hyphen m for global installation, then venv, that is virtual environment, and the name of your environment whatever you want to do. I want to give it as env for environment, or you can give my environment, whatever you want, you can take it. So we'll take my environment and hit the enter, and you will find again I misspelled it. Okay, my Python, and check. Once you hit the command, it will create one directory at your parent directory, that is Django tutorial, and my env is a environment folder created. If you open it you will find a certain set of folders are there, and now you need to activate this because you will see that it is running your admin cmd, so admin's terminal. So you need to change it to the virtual environment. So how to activate it? So you have to write source space env, the name of your directory, that is my env slash, and there is a folder called bin. So you have to go to the bin slash and you have to write activate. So basically you are activating the virtual environment, and now you can see my env is an environment which you have created for this directory. And this is how we have created the virtual environment with the help of Python for our project. Now again let us come to our presentation, and here we have done with the step 2. Now the third step is installing your Django at the global level. So how to install it? So the command is python -m pip install Django. So pip is a Python installer command. So let us do that. So type python space -m for global installation, pip, that is installer, install, and the name Django. So it will install the latest version of the Django and hit the enter. It will take a moment to install that, and once it will done, it will give you the message of successful installation. Now you will find you are getting one message that successful installed. So you have installed Django onto your system. So let us find out the version of Django which you have installed. So what you need to do, you just need to write the command django-admin space hyphen version and hit the enter. You will find that you have installed the Django version of 4.1.4. So we're done with the required setup for creating your first application in Django. Now let us do that. So here you can see we are in the directory called Django tutorial, and inside this directory we want to create our first project. So with the help of command django-admin you can do that. So you have to write django-admin is a command to give uh, it's a command to create your first application. So Django admins space, and you have to write start project and the name of your project which you want to give. So here I want to give a project name as suppose my project and hit the enter. So as soon you do that, you can observe your directory here. Inside the Django tutorial folder, we have a folder for environment, virtual environment, and another folder called MyProject. Now this folder or this directory is created with the help of command django-admin start project and the name of your project, that is MyProject. Now once you open it, you will find that there are two different files available. One is folder with name MyProject with certain set of files present into that folder, and another one is manage.py. So basically you will get confusion why it is creating the two different folders with same name. So my project is a directory where you have created your project, and what is your actual project is my project which is present inside the directory. And manage.py is a file which will help you to start your server and to execute certain command. So let us reach to the manage.py which is present in the directory my project. So here you need to go to the folder. Now we are in the Django tutorial folder and we have to go inside the my project. So you have to write cd my project. Now we are in the directory my project, and if you write ls you will see the list of the files present inside this my project folder. So we have one directory called my project and the file is manage.py. So manage.py is the file which we want to use. What is the use of it we want to see? So here you have to write python. As it is a Python file, you can see the extension is .py. So python space, you have to write manage, you have to write we have to write manage.py, and the command is run server. So with the help of this file it will be creating your server, starting your server. Hit the enter and check it is giving you certain instructions, and at the bottom you will find that 127.0.0.1 and 8000 is a port number which is your server. If you click on it and if you open that link, you will see one message that the install worked successful. Congratulations. So congratulate to you all that you have successfully installed the Django. We'll see you in the next video.